The Purge is a franchise that spans much farther than just the films, reaching throughout all corners of the internet. As while the movies were never ginormous hits, they were still incredibly influential to pop culture. The idea of being able to commit almost any crime you want for 12 hours really seemed to strike a chord with audiences. Because not only are there 5 films, one of which has an actor who would later be in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but it also has a 2-season show and countless skits made about it. But is it truly a good film, or is it just riding on its concept? Let's get into it. The film begins with a title card stating how perfect life is. Unemployment is super low, like really dang low. Crime barely exists and so does violence, with the exception of the Purge. We see some footage of people dying and getting beaten up, juxtaposed by some cheerful music, which makes me think it's the NFFA talking, trying to make it look good and make us, the audience, almost buy into the premise and think it's not as bad as it truly is. Maybe I'm thinking too deep, but that's just me. We then meet James Sandon, who sells security for the Purge, which would make sense and would probably be a real job.
Pete from Northern Virginia, what's your purge plan?
I'm gonna hunt down my boss. That son of a bitch has it coming.
Well, shit, I guess you ain't too bright. You probably gave your boss a ton of time to prepare and kill your ass now that you said that. Great job, guy.
The Purge not only contains societal violence to a single evening, but the countrywide catharsis creates psychological stability by letting us release the aggression we all have inside of us.
I'm confused as to how that would really work. Wouldn't getting a taste of it make it worse? Like they want more days like it and towns with less cops and stuff would be taken over? Kind of like how the Forever Purge is? It should realistically happen sooner with normal people. If you let one night for people to get rowdy before and especially after, they would be pissed. It doesn't make too much sense, but is still a cool premise. I just wish it made more sense.
I love you.
Let's growl.
What? What shit is this? Oh, everyone says I love you, so let's find our own thing and growl like a bunch of furries without costumes. What a great idea. Henry leaves in a really dangerous looking way, but whatever. Also, Henry is this dude, the boyfriend character. He's gonna get a whole lot worse. Holy shit.
Thank you. You know, not everyone had the year you did, Mary. You know, some people are actually saying this neighborhood paid for that new addition on your home.
We're gonna try and kill your ass in the third act. That's basically what she's trying to say.
Are people really saying that? Relax, it's just good old neighborhood gossip. Nothing to worry about.
Until we kill your ass, Mary. Seriously, could this bitch be any more obvious?
I installed a night vision program, and I insulated his motor so you can barely hear him.
What the hell? While at the dinner table, a random side plot gets brought up about Charlie Sandon's heart rate, which for the life of me, I cannot figure out why it was added other than some studio exec thought it would be cool. It is, but its inclusion is a bit weird unless I missed something.
I don't want to do this anymore. It's stupid.
What? Did I miss something? They finished their dinner and mentioned cutting off penises. Wow, it got edgy fast. And they decide to lock down looking at their security cams or whatever. I'll just call them cams, just to be sure. They listen to the scary-ass sirens and hear the directions about the Purge, which I already went over, so I'll skip. It'd be redundant. But I will talk about the loopholes in this idea, with the weapons being classified and the government stuff. While, again, the basic premise of for 12 hours all crime is legal is good, the specifics are kind of confusing at points. It says all crime is legal, but not ones like killing government officials and certain weapons, which seems weird and confusing, kind of sending mixed messages, but I get it also. Also, the whole government official thing is stupid. Who's gonna enforce it? Like, what happens if some people just wipe out the president and those officials, considering how many crazy people commit murder that could outnumber them? What are you gonna do? They're dead and you're gonna spend another year electing new ones just for them to die the next year. The whole immunity thing doesn't work. If they get arrested or killed for doing it, they still won't be granted immunity, because some random could snipe them and no one would ever figure out who did it. This thing basically falls apart with logic. I know later on they say most of the murderous purgers are actually sanctioned by the government, but by election year we see people from all over coming to America to kill, and plus there's gotta be a couple hundred that aren't with the government that just want to kill, so they would still be interested. It's not the dumbest thing ever, I kind of understand. They did think this stuff through, but it isn't in this film mainly, so it is kind of a plot hole within this film, because they only explain it later being sanctioned by the government. It's just kind of a thing where it's like, yeah, but they could still be sniped by random people and outnumbered, especially since in election year we only see a few officials guarding the main president, but that's also when the president's supposed to die in that film. But still, they could just get sniped, and after spending a whole year electing a new one, they could just get killed again. But I guess they take them to like a bunker or something that's like really like hard to reach, so I guess that makes sense. Anyways, after that, Zoe decides to leave to be emo in her room. Zoe is also the one of the characters. She's not much better than Henry, who's her boyfriend. Jesus, these characters are bad. Charlie Sanders also leaves, but asks if James and Mary would do the purge if they felt inclined, which James promptly says yes to, although Mary, his wife, doesn't seem to be on the same page as him, and not supporting the purge to that extent. We see Zoe in her room being miserable, and then OMG, turns out Henry is there too as he pulls her back in a totally not lame fake jump scare.
Is the purge really about money? Either way, crime is down.
Well, I guess we'll never hear the answer to that, at least in this movie. Bit of weird editing. After a bit of dry humping that's really uncomfortable for anyone to watch, especially adults I'm willing to bet, Henry reveals that he ain't here to do the sex, he here to do the stupid. And by stupid, I mean talking to Zoe's father. When it's the purge, and he can kill you. Smart move, Henry. Very smart. We then see Charlie use a toy from Toy Story, but in a plot twist, had half of his face burned off after Sid figured out he was a pyromaniac. The tension rises as Charlie sees a stranger played by Edwin Hodge, who is also in As Above So Below, a really good 2014 found footage movie. Charlie opens the door to let him in, and Henry also shows up, and of course he doesn't do what he said he was gonna do, and shoots at James, but Zoe then tries to help Henry. What the hell? How did Henry think this was going to happen? Was he going to kill James and think Zoe would still love him after that? Oh my god, you killed my dad, I'm so wet. What the fuck? So stupid. James regroups with Charlie and Mary and decides to try and find Zoe, so the entire family's together and finds Henry dead. Wow. What was that character's importance again? To make James Sandin slightly weak, I guess? Great writing. Oh, and Zoe's back with Mary and Charlie, and then she leaves again. Fuck me, what is this writing? Either way, the plot really starts with a group of, I think, 7 purgers showing up to the house because they want the stranger. The main one, who is called Polite Stranger, says how he notices James' blue flowers, which means he supports the purge and is one of the haves. They basically want the stranger before the backup arrives, otherwise they'll just kill the Sandins and the stranger. When Mary asks if they can bring it to their home, James lets slip that it's not built for worst-case scenarios, and James decides that they're going to find the stranger and agree to give him to the purgers. We then see the purgers trying to act cool, but being about as effective as those fake, depressed kids in school. This shit just comes off as degenerate and edgy, not being scary at all except to people who find edgelords saying, "We wanna kill you," and basic bitch shit like that's scary. It has no weight to it, and it's about as meaningless as Henry. Although the masks are effectively creepy, and they are uncanny and are in the uncanny valley, so there's that. Charlie goes on his two-faced baby doll and maneuvers it to the stranger and uses lights to guide him to a safe place. While searching for the stranger, James gets called over by the Polite Stranger to have a word with him and to give us another gunshot death.
You fuck!
Oh my god, how could you?
Sorry about that. I don't condone that kind of behavior.
Understandable, have a great day. Either way, this scene makes me want to bring up something. This Polite Stranger is interesting. His name could, I guess, be, again, like the NFFA is trying to convince us people, like, that these people are good. They're doing what they want and just want to purge. Thus, he is simply a nice, polite stranger doing the nation some good, getting rid of the people that won't help the NFFA. Also, the dude never gives James and his family a time limit to find the stranger. He's so vague, I feel bad for James and his family even more. Like, what does soon mean? 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 40 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 minutes? It's too vague and thus creates a lack of tension. Like, let's say it's 8 p.m. when the group of purgers arrive, and the backup/provisions arrive at 8:45 p.m. A great way to build tension is to every once in a while show the clock ticking closer. Now it could be 8:30 or 8:35 or maybe even 8:40. The point is, not too much tension when you don't have a specific time to get to that goal. Just some vague reminders that don't do us, the audience, or the characters any good. The clock idea could work if implemented right and could serve as a deadly reminder of what's to come if they don't make the decision to give them the stranger. And the time running out could create interesting ideas, like them trying to do shortcuts to get there in time but creating more problems. Someone getting hurt like Charlie with the whole heart rate thing, and they have to keep his heart rate a certain number or set of numbers, like in between 100 and 150. The possibilities are there. I'm just spitballing here at this point. Just try harder, movie, please.
Henry's dead. I'll be okay.
Damn, even Charlie doesn't care about Henry. He was like, bitch, please, he was pointless AF. The important thing is that nobody loves Henry, his parents were cheating on each other, getting a divorce, and were prepared to leave him to die. Okay, that's not true. What's important is that Zoe is going to the hiding spot that Charlie just led the stranger in. The stranger easily finds her and holds her at gunpoint, wanting to be left alone. The stranger says how he doesn't want to die tonight, and this makes me think, why can't the 5 of them just take those dumb purgers on? There's only 6 of those purgers since one was shot, and if you could kill them and hide the body somewhere, the backup might not know you did it, or it's 6 less people to take on. If all 5 of you use your weapons, you could probably easily kill them. Okay, maybe not easily, but easier than the film is going to make it out to be. Mary and James get the jump on the stranger by stabbing him and tying him up, but Mary and Charlie leave as they think that this is too much, which I agree with. Zoe magically appears before James's eyes and then promptly leaves after saying nothing will ever be the same again. Oh, okay, thanks for that useful info. You fucking bitch! The stranger, now seeing their hashtag relatable struggles, decides to give himself up to the Purgers. But it doesn't mean anything, as the Vegas Hell time limit is up and the backup has arrived, and we're finally at the home invasion / actually interesting part. Charlie is sent to the basement with a gun, because he also magically appeared. Great blocking, guys. I know Dead Meat pointed this out, but it's a valid criticism. The blocking is legitimately bad. People just move from place to place in this movie mansion with a lack of tension and build up to the place so we know the surroundings. It's just a big-ass mansion that the film takes place in, that's it. While I don't really like Annabelle Comes Home that much, it at least set up the home better and you knew all the places. It helped there were 2 movies briefly set in there, but still, my point is the blocking is bad. Very bad. Legit atrocious, and it's annoying. With one speech from the place stranger saying how they failed to deliver the stranger, despite them giving no set amount of time like I previously said, we're finally off on the last third of the movie. Some Purgers break in and just start shooting like idiots. Way to waste bullets, dumbass. Another Purger gets a jump on Charlie Sanders and almost kills him, but James is here to shoot him, causing CGI blood to spurt out.
The little lady Sandy. She's exquisite. Save her from me.
Yo, what the fuck? That's kinda, what's the word? Rapey? Like, that's gotta be rapey, right? That's just, not what I want to hear. I mean, maybe he means killing her, but saying she's exquisite and save her from me just raises some red flags. James finds some Purgers near his pool table, and they get into a decent fight where he double taps him after killing them just to be sure. Oh, and James gets stabbed. No, James! He was the best character of the film. Yeah, Mary wasn't bad, but he was just cooler. He doesn't die from it immediately, so he has to listen to the place stranger going on a tangent about how he's cleansed. Some Purgers get the jump on Mary and start tickling her, I guess to be scary, and are about to kill her before they're shot by some of the neighbors. Family gets reunited as James Sanders finally dies. Not like I wanted him to die, he just survived that stab for a bit, which isn't a complaint, just a note. Oh, and Zoe killed the place stranger with, of course, a gun. Wow, so innovative movie. The neighbors emerge, but they don't have gun intentions, as like I foreshadowed before, they want to kill them, as the 3 are tied up before the stranger emerges and shoots one of them and punches another, as the 3 are promptly untied. But when deciding whether or not to kill them, Mary decides that they're going to play the rest of the night out in peace. But hours later, when Mary sees James' dead body, one of the neighbors tries to get the gun but gets her nose messed up for her efforts. The sirens blare, the neighbors are commanded to leave, the stranger leaves and says good luck or something, and the film ends with us seeing outside the house in the aftermath of this purge. That was The Purge. It's not that bad. It's strange how boring this film is during its second act considering all the possibilities, but it makes up for it with some cool set pieces, Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe to see more content like it and show your support, and you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.